Hola, me and Daddy here. Me and my dad here. We're gonna review King Kong.
For the GameCube. This also came out on PlayStation 2 and I think probably Xbox.
And we're gonna be reviewing King Kong for the GameCube today.
I remember I went to the Sony store in San Francisco at the mall called the Metreon, and this was one of the games they had a demo set up for, and I thought it was really cool at the time. People were gathered around just to try it out. Well, not too long, but they had like cool play kiosks, and I was pretty impressed by this game, but I didn't pick it up that day. I ended up getting Shadow of the Colossus that day.
Oh yeah.
Which is also a great game we'll talk about sometime, but
Wait, what is that game?
remember where you climb the Colossus and you have to fight them and stuff? Remember? They're like giants.
Oh yeah.
So we'll talk about that one eventually. But today we're talking about King Kong, which later I picked up for the GameCube. And this is based off of it's Peter Jackson's King Kong. The official game of the movie is the full title. And that's because it's based off of the Peter Jackson King Kong remake from the early 2000s.
Yeah, so it could be two people, the man or King Kong. And most of it, you're a man.
It's very it's a story-driven game, and it follows the plot of the movie fairly closely with a lot of like padding and extra stuff because it's a game. But you are playing the hero of the movie, the writer. I forget his name, but you're him most of the time, and then occasionally it'll switch off to King Kong.
Which is way later in the game.
And one thing that was kind of tricky when I played this at the Sony store, they only had it where you're playing as King Kong, so I thought that was like the game, which the King Kong parts are cooler, of course.
Yeah. Here's what happened. So, when we got the game, I wanted to play it right away. I said, I want to be King Kong. And then I play it. I'm wondering what the heck, I'm a man. Then, way later, I'm King Kong.
And Bennett's a pretty big fan of King Kong and that movie. And I liked it quite a bit at the time. And I like the King Kong stuff a lot as well. So it's pretty cool to have a decent game based off of him.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the things you want to say about it?
Well, so most of the time I didn't beat the game yet, but I'm pretty far in it. So what do you do in it mostly is that basically you're a man, and then like you get weapons, and then like you like kill like giant bugs and creatures and dinosaurs. And usually dinosaurs will be raptors. I think it's cool, like feel like quite a bit. And then I liked when you kill raptors and when you're like by the raptors. And then
that portion's all from the first person view. When you're being the man, you don't see him. You just see as if you're seeing out of his eyes, and
it's like Call of Duty.
Kind of. It's a little more immersive in this one, the way you grab things and interact with things a little more, and then weapons are pretty scarce. A lot of times you're grabbing like spears or bones off the ground and throwing them or stabbing with them, and then occasionally you'll get some guns and ammo, but it's the resources are a little more tight than on a lot of games like that.
Yeah. And then like so far in the game, like seems like I'm pretty far, but so far we gotta beat King Kong once. And then it's way later so far, and then when you're King Kong, like it's a little different.
That's third person view.
Yeah, like you see him, and then like so far when I was playing him, I'm jumping off a lot of things, climbing, and then I'm like beating up monsters, like saving the girl.
The King Kong parts are more action based, and
they're more fun.
The man parts are more
boring.
well, there's puzzles in them, and there's a lot of character interaction. You always have other people from your group around you that usually need your help. A lot of it's figuring out how to open the next area, whether that's like a gate or finding a path.
Or stay alive from like the creatures and without having to kill them, or like run somewhere and follow like a place like and have to go really fast.
And it's kind of a hard game. The creatures can kill you pretty easily if you're not being careful, especially stuff like dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah, the raptors are the things that kill me the most. Usually those are like the only things. Like
there's also like a lot of giant bugs and stuff, and even those can get you if you're not careful.
The bugs they didn't really ever kill me. I killed them.
Even those weird kind of centipede kind.
Yeah, even those. The raptors. And then these like big flying creatures, they're not bugs, they're like big flying creatures killed me, like those two things. And then I think like a few like a T-Rex. I saw like one T-Rex in it so far, and that killed me before.
Graphically, it's a really good looking game, I think. One of the better looking GameCube titles.
But
Yeah.
it's like finished talking.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I remember the PlayStation 2 version looking really good too. I don't know if it looks any different though. No, I told you I played it at that place.
Yeah. And then being the man, I'm just a little disappointed. I wish your King Kong, like I wish like it was two things I kind of wish, like either if like you could be King Kong the whole game, or either if you could just be King Kong at least a lot more. But like ends up being that you're the man the most, and then it's only like a few like big parts where you're King Kong. So far there's only once where I was King Kong, where I'm just jumping, following these flying creatures, and then killing all the creatures, saving the girl. Then right after that I'm like, finally King Kong, see some more action. But then after I saved the girl, I'm like, I'm the man again. And then,
It would be cool if they just had kind of like the old Jurassic Park game for the Sega Genesis that I have, where at the beginning of that game you just pick if you're going to be playing as Dr. Grant or a raptor. It'd be kind of cool if they had you pick you're going to be playing as Adrian Brody or King Kong.
Yeah.
And I think this has the real cast of the movie doing the voices. I'm pretty sure, definitely Jack Black, because that's pretty distinctive. But I think it's most of the real people involved, so that's kind of cool too.
And then, like, here's one thing I just want to say real quick. Leave in the comments if you like Jurassic Park more or King Kong more.
It'd be cool to see Jurassic Park versus King Kong.
I like Jurassic Park a lot more.
Which, basically, you kind of see already in the movies anyway, since he fights T-Rexes and stuff. The dinosaurs are kind of weird looking, though. These are... in the game and in this movie, it's based off of I think he was looking at the original King Kong movie that Peter Jackson's a huge fan of, and I think he was kind of replicating the way people thought of dinosaurs back then, which if you look at like dinosaur stuff from the 30s and 20s and like those time periods, looked very different than the way we imagine dinosaurs look now. So it's kind of interesting. Anything else you have to say about it? It's well,
so like it's kind of like a little mix. So it's like more a little action game or a puzzle game. Most of the time it seems like it's a little more puzzle.
Yeah, he tends to get stuck at the puzzles and need my help. Sometimes it's stuff like lighting the brush on fire so you can get by a certain area, or literally you'll come up against gates and you'll need to find stand forward a little, a way to turn the crank on the gates.
And then like sometimes like you need to like hide and then pop up and kill the raptors, and then like go by the gates or just like try to run from like monsters or dinosaurs. Like when I was like part of it, where like a big machine gun, and then it's this T-Rex, and when you're with other people, but you need to distract the T-Rex and shoot him and hurt him and mostly distract him. Well, like the other people are opening up the gates, but it's so hard because like I noticed on the game the T-Rex is really like fast, like not as fast as the Raptors, but he's quite a bit fast. So like it's a little hard because I'm having to like run and shoot at him constantly, and then finally when the gates open, have to go through the gate really like fast, and then it finally closes, and then it's kind of like it's like three things. So like when you're fighting a bunch of monsters, or when like you're solving puzzles, or when you're like distracting things where you get by things.
What do you think? Is it a fun game? Should people play it?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's one of the cooler movie-based games, and it really puts you in the world of the movie and makes you feel like you're part of it.
Yeah.
And you're really interacting with a lot of stuff.
There's some movie games that aren't really too good.
Most of them.
Yeah, like most of them.
All right. Any closing thoughts?
Well, one thing though, how many movies did they make?
Of King Kong?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know. A lot.
that's a closing.
All right. Well, we'll think about that.
And then remember, folks, leave in the comments if you like more King Kong or Jurassic Park. Also, leave in the comments if you have this game or you like it, or if you want to hear some, or you could give us ideas for like some more like videos we can make. And then, yeah, so I think that's all for today. And make sure you subscribe. See you next time.